Hi my loves, hi my loves, hi my loves, hi my loves. I hope that you all are good. Okay, now that we've defended the pig. I'm joking. All right, hi my loves. Now someone will be complaining and say I'm greeting too much. Good morning, good day. How? Good evening. My voice starts acting up when I start doing videos these days. I don't know why. I hope you all are having a good day. If you see my face for the first time, hi. And to those who are new here, please note there are 3 pinned videos on TikTok that you will need to go through before you even consider doing a consultation with me. There's also, I would ask you to go through my videos a bit, get acquainted with me, get to know me. I've already made a video about how I'm not a nice person, and yet people are expecting miracles and expecting me to be a nice person. I'm not. So when you come for a consultation, just know I'm not nice, and I'm not going to be nice. I'm not going to baby you. I'm not going to do anything. That's just not my character, right? So get yourself acquainted with me before you book a consultation, because I don't want situations where now we cannot proceed with your consultation. And then on TikTok, you will find the videos by title: how to book a consultation, what you need to know about my mentorship, focus on the message and not the messenger, right? Remember, the reality is that my job is not to befriend you. I'm going to be honest. I'm not here to befriend anyone. I am here to deliver the messages that will guide and assist you from your ancestors. That's all, right? So get that in the head before you come for a consultation. And then if you're interested in booking a consultation, I'm going to repeat it because someone in the comment section will ask even after I've said all this. You can inbox me on TikTok. You can email me. The link is found on my bio on TikTok. It's written on YouTube bio. You can go to my website where you'll find all the information. The link to my website is on TikTok. Okay, thank you. Now, I have a simple message today. Simple message. I'm not gonna be doing a whole lot of teachings today, but I wanna go back. I will always talk about my life because I don't have references, and some of my client stories I can't use them. Some clients are not comfortable with us using their stories online, right? There are some who don't have issues, but some I have to ask for permission. So the best example that I will always ever give will always be me. Okay, so when I started my spiritual journey, it was just a normal journey of spirituality, wanting to know who am I, why am I here on earth, just answer those life questions. What's my purpose, right? So it started with me seeking out to figure out what my purpose is. At that time, I didn't even know there were spiritual gifts. Like I could potentially have spiritual gifts. Yes, I came from a family of healers. Dreaming was a normal thing for us. It was not a spiritual thing. It was just an everyday type of life. And then in this journey, as I proceeded, I then started now to go deeper. And now the question started shifting from what is my purpose to how do I become a god? Like, no, the first one, it shifted from what's my purpose to how do I exit earth and not come back? And what do I need to do to not come back to earth? And the answers that I kept on receiving was you need to be a god. And I was like, okay, then how do I become a god? Right? And the first thing they said is you need to heal the bloodlines. I'm just thinking, bloodline. How do these people understand what a bloodline is? Like the multi forms of bloodline, like the tree of life, like there's different branches that I would have to heal. And when I started seeing the work before me in the ancestral side and in the physical side, I won't lie and say I was like happy and celebrating. No, I was overwhelmed. I was really overwhelmed, and I started asking myself, do I honestly want to heal the bloodline, or maybe I should just come back? I was like, Maybe let me do it for the next life. I remember even one of my goals before that, one of my goals was that in my next, before I started asking how do I not come back, my question was that in my next reincarnation, I don't want to come back poor. So what do I need to do to set myself up so that in my next reincarnation, I'm born in wealth? So that was the goal that I had. And then there was a possibility that I was told that you can actually not come back if you choose to, and there's no need for you to set yourself up for a next reincarnation when there are possibilities of you not coming back. And I was like, there's possibilities of me not coming back. That's when they taught me about the 7 soul cycles that a human being needs to go through. And they're like, you are actually on your 7th cycle. And if you perfect it like you did in the other lifetimes, in the other 6 lifetimes, if you perfect this, you won't need to come back. So now that a new world opened, like I was like, damn. So I've done this before. And they're like, yeah, you've done it before. So it was like mind-boggling. And I was like, no, if I've done it before, I can do it. So this time, if I do it perfectly, then I don't have to come back. They're like, yeah. It's like, okay, let's do it. Now what do I need to do? Ancestors will always tell you, give you the final story, and not tell you the work that you need to do in between. Angels and ancestors are like that. They will always show you here, but what you need to do to get here, they don't tell you anything. That's when you will walk by faith. I should have gotten a drink. That's when you would walk by faith. I had to go get something to drink. My throat was bothering me. Right? That's when you will walk by faith. They won't tell you. They will just give you the final story and say, you can get here. You can be a god. But what do we need to do to get here? No one ever tells you. So I was like, okay, that was a big assignment. That was a big assignment. So in my mind, I did not believe that it could be done. You could do it and finish it in this lifetime. Or like I would finish it in my 30s. I didn't even picture it happening in my 30s. I thought that I'll probably be at age 60 and I will still be dealing with this thing. And I was ready. I was like, okay, if I need to continue with this, and if I need to work hard on this, I'm ready. I'll work hard. After some time, even after I was like, should I do it? But after some time, I was like, it's fine. Let me do it. I would rather not come back to this earth than have to be bothered, like have to be living lavishly and still have to come back. And that's the message that I want to get into. Because when you are busy with spirituality and not religion, let's be clear here. I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about going to church, reading the Bible, I'm talking about spirituality. Many people, there are different types of people on a spiritual path. There's those ones who are just doing it and looking for quick solutions and thinking that they can solve it. They can use a certain meat, it will be solved. They can use a certain herb, they can do a certain cleansing, it will be solved. They can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will be solved, right? Those are people that are looking for quick solutions. And then you have people on a spiritual path who are not necessarily looking for, they want to do the proper work so that they don't have to redo it. Those on a spiritual path looking for quick solutions always find themselves going through the same cycle. You do it, you think you got it, and boom, you're back to square one. You do it, you think you got it, boom, you're back to square one. You've been dealing with the same issue for the past 10 years and nothing seems to be changing in your life. It is because they keep going from one healer to another looking for quick solutions. They keep going from social media, looking at healers' content, looking for what could they get, right? Those are the very same people who would be on the comment section telling a healer, get to the point, right? But forgetting that every single thing that we're saying is important on their evolution. So for them, they just want to know, how do I heal? And it's not like that. No one can tell you how do you heal, because no one knows how to heal. We don't all know it. I don't know it. I don't know the process that it takes to heal. I went through it, but I still don't know it, right? It is not something that anyone can teach you, right? And so that's why the impatient people are always looking for quick solutions. So there's that group of people. And then there's a second group of people, people who are willing to do the work. There's a line that I hear a lot lately in consultations, where they say that healing is spiral. You need to know that healing is spiral. It's complex, it's complicated, it has many layers, it takes a lot of time, right? And it has a lot of integral parts to it. And when you go through proper healing of yourself, healing of your childhood traumas, healing of the ancestral curses, bloodline issues, healing of your soul, because even that is a healing, you find that the journey is long. It's not I can do it now and I'll be done with it. And once we get to that point, when I got to that point, I was like, okay, this is going to take me a lifetime. Okay, let's get into it, right? And you have this in your mind where you think it won't end. And that's where my message is, but it does end. I didn't know that. As I said, I cannot talk about other people. I didn't know that there is an end to healing. Goodness, there's the biggest mosquitoes I've ever seen. I need to kill this mosquito or it's going to chow me. I didn't know it could end. I honestly didn't know there is an end. I thought I would be doing it forever, but there is an end. But no one will tell you when the end is, and no one will say to you, you're almost there. Goodness, look at this mosquito. Look at how big this thing is. Wow. So no one will tell you that you are almost at the end. It doesn't happen. It never happens where you hear that, no, continue, you're almost at the end. No one tells you. Sometimes there is not even a map. There's no book. There's no game book that anyone will give you. Because healing, our ancestry lines are not the same. We don't even come from the same family. We don't even come from the same bloodlines. So what I did for my family is not what you would do for yours. What I did for my bloodline is not what you would do. The childhood traumas that I had are not what you had. The adult life situations that I brought upon myself are not what you did. And even people who lived the most quiet life, they still have something to heal. There's a lot of issues that they have to work through. And no one gives you a book. Just like, you know how they say parenting, being a parent, no one will give you a book as to how to be a parent. There's no manual to parenting, because one parent won't do the same thing that another parent is doing. Only people who don't have kids are the ones that have opinions about what other people need to do for their own kids. But apart from that, the people who have kids know there's no such a thing, right? So now, even in spirituality, there's no such a thing. And spirituality is not all about healing. Spirituality is not only about healing. There's other stuff. Yes, healing is a big part of it, but there's also the part where you have to learn to use money. Well, you heal your money, but you also need to learn to use it properly. Where you need to learn to attract things in your life. Where you need to learn to hold things. You can attract the money, but many people can't hold it, right? You need to learn to hold things. There's also the other side of spirituality is joy. It is joy and happiness. You need to learn to be happy. because that raises your vibration. The other part of spirituality is authenticity. You need to be authentic. You can't wear a mask. You can't pretend. The minute you start pretending, you go back. That means you have a lot to heal. So you need to be authentic. So it's not, it's that's why they say it's a complex. It's a complex and complicated thing. And it has many layers, right? But it does end. There is an end. There is an end from one end to another. There's many ends that you will go through, many intervals of ending, where you end a little bit of something and you are ready to move to the next one, and just like that. But there is also a big end. There is also a big end. And in the big end, you do get the confirmation that you've done it. Many people have gotten the confirmation. I'm not the only one. I didn't believe you could until it happened to me. And before it happened to me, I've never had anyone say that they got their own confirmation that they've passed it. I've never had anyone around me say it. So it was never a possibility that it could happen, because just I've never had anyone say it's possible, or they've done it, or they've been through it. So when it happened to me, it was surreal. And I doubted it at the beginning, and they kept on confirming that, yes, you've done it. But just like the tiny healings, the tiny celebrations that you go through, on when you finish one part and then you have to move to the next one and the next, even after the big confirmation, there's still other stuff that you still need to do, right? Just because they gave you a confirmation and said you've passed it doesn't mean you're ready to be a god. Being a god requires other stuff, and you have to do the other stuff that requires you to be a god, right? And that's the journey that I'm on. Earth, I've passed. If I die today, I'm not coming back to earth. That's 100% surety, and I'm 100% sure of. I don't even need anyone to confirm it for me. I don't even need anyone. I don't even justify it. I don't need anything. That I'm sure of. With every fiber in my being, I know that if I were to drop dead now, I will never come back to earth. I might not be the God, because there's two things that I'm still missing in my soul journey. There's the divine union and bringing a God to earth, right? In order for me to be the God. But godhood, I'm good. I'm good. I'll be a very nice angel who will come maybe on earth to visit you guys. Right? But anything else, I know I'm good. So I think I lost my train of thoughts because now I'm talking too much. All right, so now it ends. There is an end. I don't know why I need to say this. Maybe there's many of you who are going through this and you're asking yourself, will this ever end? This is hard. And it's hard. And it's hard. And it's even harder because no one gives you a manual. And at many times and many intervals, even the ancestors don't talk. There comes even a point. There comes a point, and it's also something that I've been seeing for a few people, not a lot, but a few people, where you come to a point in your healing journey where you are doing things that not even your ancestors were able to do. And when you get to that part, that's how you know you are closer. That's now when you are closer to doing it, because they never could do it, right? They never could do it. There are a few people in their bloodline who have ancestors that have become gods. But those are mainly soul ancestors. I've met people who have soul ancestors, meaning the ancestors of your soul, who have become gods. But they did it for the bloodlines that they were born on earth for, and they are just here to guide you. But for the bloodline ancestors, there is a time when you get to a point where, when you're just not far off, because many of them ended here, when you're not far off, before you just like hit the mark, they can't take you any further. They can't. And that's when the soul ancestors become more active. They can't take you further. But at certain time you are doing things that many ancestors never were able to do, and because you are doing that and there's no manual of how to do it, they also are just looking at you in awe and saying, will she do it? Is she the one we've been waiting for? Can she do it because we failed to do it? And they just like in amazement and say, you know, no way she's about to do it. You know, he's about to do it. He's actually going to do it. And at that point, they can't help you. At that point, no one can help you. You will have to do it on your own, and it is at the hardest. I love my favorite. I used to say this a lot to myself. It's an allegory. And I always say to myself, when things got hard, and I would say to myself, remember, it always gets hard. Like, you know, when you've been holding pee and you've been driving, and you've been wanting to pee for a long time, and you can hold it and you're driving, but when you see the loo, it's like the minute you see where you're supposed to sit or where you're supposed to stand, that's right. So when you see where you're supposed to sit or where you're supposed to stand, my video cut. That's when it gets the hardest, but that's when you're supposed to continue, right? It is when you are at your closest, that's when it gets harder. When you are at your closest, that's when it gets harder and harder and harder, and it just like, you will be like, wow, how am I even going to be doing this thing? Just like how, I think I've said this before, it is at the early hours of the morning, just before dawn, that is the coldest. At 3 it's not cold. If you've ever been out and had to go pray outside in the early hours of the morning, or you had to go do stuff, it is when the sun is about to come up, around about 5 before 6. That's when it gets colder. So many of you are going through a period where it's hot and it looks like there is no end at sight. It looks like things are not going to get better. It just looks like you will be doing this for the rest of your life, right? It will end, right? I wish I had someone who would have said, no, it ends, who truly knew what they were talking about and said it will end. That would have made life much easier for me, but I didn't. I had to figure that out on my own. I just did it. I was okay with it not ending. Like, I was at the point where I was like, if it doesn't end, it doesn't end. So long as when I die, I will die knowing that I've done the job. That's it. Right? But it does end. There is an end. And it's funny because when I go to TikTok and started opening this TikTok channel, that's when I started talking openly about this, even though certain people thought in the early pages, in the early times when I would talk about this, some people will make comments and say, I think I'm better, or something like that, right? They'll make such comments. But then I also have seen comments of people who say they've also gotten their own confirmation, right? I think it was 2 or 3 comments that other people were like, no, I've also received my confirmation. I've also got my confirmation that I passed it. And that's when I realized, wait, there are actually more people than I thought there is, right? Obviously, I'm not the first person to go through this. That's a definite. That's a definite. I'm not the first person to go through it. There were many people who have went through it before me, and there are many people who will go through it, who have went through it around the time that I went through it. But it is just that it's something that people don't openly talk about, because obviously you sound crazy. You sound like you're not okay in the head. Who told you that you've passed it? Who? right? Especially people who don't believe in ancestors. Some people don't believe in God, right? You just sound like you're crazy, but I then realized there's more people, right? And as I work with people, I'm now seeing how many people are closer to finishing. And sometimes the ancestors will be like, you just need to just do it. You are our hope. You are what we've been waiting for. And the only reason that you are the hope, I know it's a big responsibility, and you're probably asking yourself, why me? Why must I be their hope? The only reason that you are their hope, it is because you've done it 6 times perfectly. You have done it 6 times perfectly. And that's the only reason why you are their hope. Because they've never been able to do it 6 times perfectly. Right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a video that I made about the soul cycles, the 7 soul cycles that every human being needs to go through to become a god. I talk about what it takes to be an ascended master in that 7 soul cycle. I think the soul cycle video, the cover, it is a circle made out of stone, like a spiral circle made out of stone on a beach. What's the name for that stone thing? Yeah, made on the beach, right? I think that's the cover of the soul cycle. If that's not the cover, it's close to those videos, but you will find that the title is written the 7 soul cycles. It's not the same video as the birthday cycles, so don't confuse the two. They're not the same, right? And so you are the hope. You are the last hope because you've done it before in many lifetimes, and you can do it in this life. So that's the thing. That's the reality. You've done it before in many lifetimes, and you can do it again in this lifetime, and you will do it again in this lifetime. But it doesn't mean that just because you've done it before, it's easier. No. It's even harder. I even think, I'm convinced, I just don't know. I don't have any theory. I don't have data to prove this. But I'm convinced the last cycle, the last soul cycle is the hardest. I don't know. I'm convinced. I'm convinced it is. I don't think it was this hard in my previous past life. It was probably hard, but I don't remember it being this hard. Right? And you will have to continue. I'm reminded, yesterday I had said I was going to record a video and I didn't. I did record it halfway and I spoke about something, and afterwards I just didn't have anything to add to it, right? And that was going to be the shortest video that I've ever made in my entire existence. It was 15 minutes. I was like, nah. I'm going to think about this and I'm going to come back with another thing. And I'm going to make it long. Right? So yesterday I was thinking about something. It's something that has been coming lately in my mind. And so I've been looking at the different consultations, people that come for consultations. There are people who come for consultations who are not prepared. Right? I'm just going to stick to 2. There's many types, but I'm just going to stick to 2. There are people who come for consultations who either are struggling to put the money together for a consultation, who even their questions, you can see there's not a proper direction as to what they want to know, and there's just a lot. Even the consultation, when it comes out, it doesn't come out as fulfilling as you would want it to. And then there's a second group of people, right? And the second group of people, even before, this is a higher chunk number of them, even before the consultation, they already get the funds. And like the funds, some even are given the money for their cleansings before I even tell them how much it's going to cost for them to do proper cleansings with me. They already get the money. right? And a person, when I tell them this is how much a cleansing will be, they're like, oh no, I have the money, I was given the money, my ancestors made provision for that. Mentorship, no, they made provision for that, I'll pay for it, there's money coming in. So these are people that are prepared. And I've always asked myself, why is that different? Why are other people so well prepared that their ancestors have prepared them? Ancestors are ready for them. Ancestors have the funds for them. Why? And then there's these other ones that there's no preparation. Their ancestors are not ready and everything. And the thing that I noticed was a difference between the two groups is that these ones that are prepared have been doing the work. Not that these ones haven't been doing the work, no. But these ones have been doing the actual work, the deep work. They have been putting the effort of really, 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 really wanting to heal. And they've been going the extra mile, and they've been doing, and they've been on this journey longer, right? They've been on this journey longer and everything. And it's not that it has been easy for them, and it's not that every single time things were handed to them, no. But they just have been doing the right work, that they are at the point where they need to move to the next level, and the person who can help them move to the next level, their ancestors chose me. Some come in and their ancestors will be like, we just need you to tell them a message, but you are not taking them forward. We have someone else who will take them forward, or we will do it ourselves. They've done it so far, they can continue on their own. Right? And I'll deliver the message and tell them. Some people, there's no cleansing that's even prescribed. There are some people where the ancestors will be like, no, we don't need cleansing. We just need you to deliver the message, give them encouragement, and let them know that they are closer, but no cleansing is required for them. They're already doing a good job, and they should continue to do what they're doing. And with time, we will give them the cleansings that they need to do. And then there are some who ancestors don't want to talk. Some who their ancestors are just shouting the whole consultation. Right? But I don't want to focus on this ones too much. And then I realize it's because of the work that you have put in, the work that you're currently putting in, that is preparing the stage. And when you are ready, continue going forward, continue going forward. When you are ready, when it is now time to move to the next level, every single thing will work in your favor and you'll move to the next level. Don't rush the process. That's the thing about healing. You shouldn't rush the process. You shouldn't try to rush it. So I'm going through something currently, and I was told that I need to go through it. It's not about healing, right? I was doing a consultation for myself recently. You know, the video at the bottom, the one with the fairy princess, the baby fairy, your season for bloom. I recorded that video when I was about to enter my bloom season, right? And I was in the meantime, I was in the in-between. So for me, that's the only in-between I knew, right? And I knew what I needed to do in the in-between. The message was coming, don't talk to people, don't tell this, right? As you can go watch the video to watch it, to understand what I'm talking about, if you're new here and you've not watched it. And I knew I was about to exit the meantime, the transit state. I knew I was about to exit the transit state when I recorded that video. I knew it was close. I was about to exit the transit state. And I recorded it after I had already received my confirmation that I've passed. So that's when I knew that I'm about, because I've passed Earth, the next best thing would be for me to receive the blessings, right? That's it. So it didn't make sense that I'll be in the transit state forever. And so I was like, okay, so we're moving towards the blessings. Okay, I'm excited about that. And I exited the transit state and I entered my bloom season, right? I've been in my bloom season and I've been enjoying my bloom season, and I've been enjoying it so much, enjoying myself, right? And then recently when I was doing consultation, I was told that I'm in my second transit state for my second bloom. Now, the second transit state, I've never been in this state before. I didn't even know there was a second transit state where you prepare for a second bloom. I thought that the first bloom, that's it. Like, we're blooming and life continues like that. But then I was then told that no, you are preparing for your second bloom, the bigger bloom. And I was like, okay, a second bloom? Oh, all right. And then, like, you're going through a transit state. I've never been in this state before. And lately, there's been a void. Right? There's been a void that I've been going through, the emptiness that I've been going through. And I'm feeling like this because I've never been in a situation where I wake up and there's no witchcraft to fight. I wake up and there's no toxicity and drama to deal with. I wake up and I'm waking up in peace, and every single day is just peace. There's no one gossiping about me. Yes, people on social media will do their own things. I hardly pay attention to those, but in my orbit, in my reality, apart from outside of social media, is not my reality. In my reality, every single thing I've prayed for, I've received. When I made that list, those who do cleansings with me know the list I'm talking about. When I made that list and asked every single thing, well, not every single thing, I think we are 90% in. I had majority of the things that I asked for, I got. But the biggest things I asked for, I got. Like peace. Like being in peace. Like being content. Like being happy with how I look, with myself, and not trying to create an image that I'm not. Like being authentic. Like just being comfortable in my own skin. Being comfortable in my own company. Being comfortable in my own reality. So I'm at that point where I received every single thing, and because my main goal was to pass Earth, now I'm at that point and I'm like, what next? Like, what is there? Like, you know, so it has created this void. In psychology, they call it the post-achievement depression, and I've been going through that for a while. I've been fighting it, but my ancestors like, no, you have to feel it. You have to go through the motions. You cannot deny your feelings. You have to go through every single thing, because I've never been in this situation before, and I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to deal, not have my phone be buzzing of drama, not have my phone or people around me all having being victims and all attracting victim mentality people. I don't know how to do that. Like, it's just new people who are just comfortable in themselves. And this is something I was told a while back, but I didn't know. Until you are in certain things, you really don't know how they're gonna play out. And someone will listen to me and say, no, but you are spoiled, or you are, how could you be sad about such a thing when you're living such a good life? But it's a thing. It's a thing, and many of you will get there. Many of you will get there, because when you get the confirmation that you've passed Earth, nothing on Earth, after that, nothing on Earth seems interesting. Like, you even get to a point where you just want to leave. Like, I've passed, why am I here? Why am I still here? And then they tell you, no, but to become a god, you need to be. I think maybe it's because I also asked to be a god. That's why I'm still here. Right? But when you get to that point, and I'm sure people who have received that confirmation can attest to this, you are more than welcome to comment and tell everyone if you've experienced this, where you were like, why am I still here? What's next? Like, even if they were to tell you that you will buy the latest, like, the latest cars don't even matter. The big houses don't even matter. Yes, I'm in them. I'm living in them. I'm living in beautiful villas. I'm traveling. I'm exploring the world. Doing things that I've always wanted to do. But I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm going through the motions of it, and especially because they don't hold as much value as they used to. They really don't hold as much value as they used to, because right now I'm like let's just get to the heaven part. Let's get to the 5D. When are we ascending? When are we going to heaven, man? Hey, me, I'm tired of earth. All right, I don't even know why I'm recording this. Hopefully it will help someone else, but it is these messages that I don't even know why I'm recording that actually tend to help a lot of people. So when you get to that point, I don't know what you need to do. I'm still figuring it out, and when I have figured it out and I'm clear on what is it that we need to do, I will do another video. But for now, I was told to just go through the emotion, fill the void, be in this transit state into my next bloom. Many of you are in your transit state into your first bloom, but I'm giving you a word of hope to say that there's a second transit state into your second bloom. There could be a third bloom as well. I don't know, but there could be a third bloom as well. But clearly there's multiple bloom seasons, and not the tiny bloom seasons, but the multiple big bloom seasons. And when you do go through those multiple bloom seasons, you always have to go through the transit where it feels like nothing is moving, where it feels like you're doing the same thing every single day. And in humanity, you want to move quickly to the next goal. You want to move quickly to doing the other stuff, but you have to go through it. Why you go through it? My ancestors say you have to go through it so that you don't come back to it. That's why you have to go through it. It actually makes me feel better to talk about it, because I feel like sometimes when we don't talk about things, they become even harder to digest and to deal with. And right now in my world, there's literally only 2 people that I can tell this to. But sometimes they're also going through their own life and struggles, and they're going through their own challenges, and now here you come wanting to complain about your nice life. I'm not complaining. I love my life. I would not trade it for anything else above. And the only trade is going up, right? It's just that in my mind I have not fermented what the above is. And that's where the issue is. I don't know what is next, what's the above, because I've never been in this situation before. I have never been in this level of spirituality before. I've never been in this level of material satisfactions before. And so I don't know, because this is what I've been praying for. I've hit it. I don't know what's above it. So obviously I don't want to go down, definitely. And hence that's why I will not go down. But at the end of the day, there is an above, and I don't know how to get to the above, and I don't know what the above is, but it will make itself known with time. Just have to go through it. So my message, go through it. Go through it. Hold on. It gets harder when you're closer, and it's the same message to me, because it's harder now. I've been here, but like I think it's getting harder. And if it's getting harder, it means that I'm closer to my bloom, second bloom. And that's what they said to me recently. They said, you're about to enter your bloom, your second bloom season. And that's when I was like, right? And that's why it's harder, right? So we are all in different timelines. Yes, we might be in different timelines. You might be hard where you're struggling financially and everything. But the fact that it's getting harder, it means that you're about to enter the season that you've been praying for. But even for me, that I'm in the season that I prayed for, then it means, and it's getting harder, and I'm feeling certain things that I've never felt before. It means that I'm about to enter my bloom season, second bloom season, right? So we all have to go through the void of spirituality. We all have to go through the transit phase where you have to wait. Those of you who fly on a regular and know what a transit is, having to wait at an airport for your next flight, you know how boring that can be. You know how now you're on a 3-hour transit layover, and you have to sit at that airport for 3 hours and find things. You go eat, and then you now can't eat anymore. You have to go sit, you have to entertain yourself, you know. And there's nothing you can do. You can't go to reception and ask them to hurry the next flight. You can't do that. You have to sit through it. You have to wait it out, and until they call you and tell you that your flight has arrived. And yet you still haven't reached the destination, because you still have to get on another 5-hour flight to your final destination. But you have to, in life we go through moments where you have to just go through the moment. You can't rush it. There's so many things that you have to go through that you won't be able to rush. Okay, I need to put the videos together, and I'm not sure how much time it is, so let's end it here. Oh, before we end it, in a couple of days I'm going to go off. Meaning that I won't be recording videos for a couple of days. So I'm telling you this in advance. I will actually log out of all my social media. My phone will be on flight mode. I won't receive anything. But I will make a video. Just putting it out there, because I know some people just don't listen. They have selective hearing. They will still be sending me messages and wanting to book consultation, and I won't respond, and then they'll be thinking that something is wrong. So I'm already putting it out there. And for those of you who are just watching my videos, know that there will be a day, I will let you know when it's closer to the time, when I will go for probably 5 or 6 days, and there won't be any communications from me. Like, even if I don't post for a day or two, I still comment, I still interact with many people in the inboxes. But this time there won't be any of that. It will be quiet, right? You guys will need to find other stuff to entertain yourself. Yeah, so I'm preparing, right? I'm preparing you for my off. Like, I need off, I need time off, I need time to think and reprocess and come back a renewed person, right? I need to go feed my life force. All right, my loves, I love you guys, and I hope you guys continue to have a good day, and hold on, we're going home. Hold on, we're about to go home in a couple of years time. We're about to go home. Hold on, keep working hard, don't give up, don't drop the ball. It's not your time. Don't drop the ball. It's not worth it. Don't drop the ball on your celibacy. Don't drop the ball on your spirituality. Don't drop the ball on your prayers. Don't drop the ball. We are almost there. In a couple of years, we are going home. All right. Toodles.